Okay, so we are live, which is so fun. I'm going to really quickly just post on Instagram that I'm live, and then we'll get started. We're doing a studio vlog. I do apologize for like the mess in here. Okay, um, mainly I'm sitting on the floor instead of like sitting up because I have one, two desks over here that I work with, and then I have this table which is for the Cricut. Right now I have a bunch of resin stuff on it that's gonna get moved to these like storage boxes. So yeah, but I'm just gonna post on Instagram really quickly that I'm live, and then we'll get started with the rest of it. I'm still working out like how I want to post that I'm live and all the stuff. Um, yeah, so why does this look so wide? Okay, I moved it all a little bit. See if it looks any different. Okay, it just is what it is. But yeah, let me post this on Instagram really quick, and then we'll get started with the rest of the stream. We're painting today, in case you didn't see my stream before. Um, Yesterday, I was like a quick study session. I didn't have like a ton to do, so it was really hard to like set everything up. But I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and my dad is texting me. He's so ridiculous. Um, Let me add this. Focus. Um, Where's the little link thingy? There it is. Okay, so here's the link. Added it to my story, so that's great. And then let me just double check. I have to go onto my other YouTube account, but okay. All right. So, anyways, I'm gonna put on some music in my earbuds and then go from there. Because I do like to listen to music while I'm painting. That's really loud and distracting. But number one, I have to set up my palette because I use these little acrylic boards to do or to have my palette on because I like them a lot, and when the acrylic paint gets hard I can just scrape it off, so that's nice. But yeah, I just scrape it off, call it a day, and then I always have like a clean one. But I don't have any clue where I put the other ones. So this is the one we're working with. What is this? But yeah, so. But yeah, it just slides off. So that's nice. Mainly the paint. Being able to slide off so easily is the great part. I don't use oil with these. Oh wow. I don't use oil with them, so. I don't use oil a lot for painting, actually. I don't like to use oil paints all that much because I don't do like landscape or portraits that often, which I am getting into doing more just because it's a good kind of thing to have under your belt. I'm just not particularly good at them. So, but I mean, if you're not good at it, you should practice. Yeah, I know. Also, don't be like, oh my god, she's wiping it on her legs. These are my painting sweatpants. I have spray paint all over them. There's clay on them. It just is what it is, and I keep them in my little art station. I have a shirt too, but I'm actually using that as a towel, and I don't really care about this shirt all that much, so yeah. Hopefully we get some people watching. We didn't really have anyone except for Mo last night, and Mo's my best friend, so he has to watch. But I'm setting up my paints right now, and then we'll get into like what I'm painting. This is a incomplete painting that I've been working on for a long time now. I want to say maybe like 6 months. No, not 6 months. It's been a while though. It's been a good while. I also have to remember to look in the freaking camera and not look in Streamlabs. So, you know. Yeah, it's hard to not look in because I have a viewfinder, but it's hard to not look in the Streamlabs because it's just bigger than it's just bigger than the camera viewfinder, so yeah, but it's okay. As I'm painting, it won't really matter. But this is what we're currently working with. So this is the Living Tribunal for the people that are not Marvel fans. And then this is, we're working through, the camera makes this look like a different color than what it is, but it's gold. This is Dr. Fate. He's pretty much done except for parts of his face and his arm over here because I am a sporadic kind of artist, okay? So I ended up thinking I wanted to turn this into like a textured painting, and I started adding the texture in here because I wasn't sure how I wanted like the planet that they were going to be on to look, and I ended up with that, and I got resin for Christmas from my mom, so I was like, oh shit, like I can do a resin painting. But I just started that because that's where I was feeling most inspired at the time. And then I, what's it called? And then I just didn't keep up with it and didn't finish Dr. Fate's arm, which I really need to do. But the other thing I need to do is find where my gold Posca marker went because I need it. It's like the majority of what I use for Dr. Fate. And I separated it out before I started. And now I don't know where it is. I have the silver one, which can be helpful, but I have gold. Yeah, I have gold paint. I don't really want gold paint. I want my damn marker. Where did it go? That's a pink marker over there. What's this? Another pink marker that I don't need. Here's the gold. I found the gold. Okay. So, yeah. So I'm just gonna get started. I'm actually going to work on his vest a little bit more. Or like his little belt. It's more like a belt. Just because I want to stabilize this and finish it. Like I want this piece to be done completely tonight. And then, well, not the whole piece, but I want this part of the painting to definitely be done because it makes it easier for me to keep moving. But I do like the texture that I unintentionally put on his vest because it's all in like a swirling motion and you can actually see the texture, so that's nice. But yeah. Anyways, I just want to have some regular girl chat. And I just say girl chat because I'm a girl, but it's really for anyone because I think it may apply regardless. But, yeah, so recently I started getting into the process of dating again. What a nightmare that is. But, I had said that I didn't want to download the apps, the dreaded fucking apps. I didn't want to download the apps because the fact of the matter is I'm done with my hoe phase. Like I've already done that. I'm good on that. I don't need to do that again, and that's over now. So all the toxic nonsense doesn't need to exist in my life. I am an adult with like a real job and, you know, a career, and I am at the point now where I don't need that in my life. I didn't need it then, and I really don't need it now. So, where did my phone go? I'm gonna keep losing my phone, but, I don't know. But yeah, so like I was saying, I got back into the whole dating spiel, and I was like, I'm not going to download the apps. And then in a moment of spite, I downloaded the apps because I was being spiteful, and it was such a mistake. It was such a freaking mistake. Because at first I was like, oh, I'm not going to download Tinder and Hinge and all this stuff because, like, why do that? And then, like I said, I did it out of spite, and I was like, well, it could be a good thing because I work and then I have school, and then on top of that, like, it's really, really difficult sometimes to meet people because I'm not going to meet anyone at my job. That's not happening. Everyone that I work with, you know, is significantly older than me. Like, a lot of the people are pushing retirement age, and then the people that are in my age group, like, no, like, I'm not dating anyone from work. Absolutely not. So that's not like a dating pool option. And then most of my classes are online because it makes it easier for me to go to school and work at the same time. So I'm not going to meet anyone there. And then most of my really close friends do not live in this state. So it's difficult. It's really difficult to, do anything because, like, I want to go out with people. Like, I don't want to go to a bar by myself. I'm not going to go to a fucking bar by myself. This is not a Law & Order SVU episode. And like I said, like, I want to go out with my friends, and my friends just don't live here. So my options are make new friends, which is difficult when you work and go to school, because where are you going to meet someone? And then on top of that, like, so I'm going to have to, it sounds like, go out somewhere by myself and meet people. But, and then my other option is to move where my friends are at. And I intentionally left New Hampshire and have no intention of going back. I have only visited once since I have moved away. And I am good for another 5 years. Like, it's their turn now. You guys can come here again. Which, granted, my friends were coming here more often than I went there. So, it was my turn. But my turn is over now because I made a vow that I would never go back there. And I went back there for them. But anyways, so I got on Tinder, which Tinder is like the worst of them, I would say, because it's just like a hookup app at this point. And I got on Hinge, and the number one thing I see in people's bio is, I want a gym partner. Shut up. Can we, like, it's not, you're not original, it's not funny, it's not cute, I don't like it. Stop. So, and then, like, you see people say that, and then they're very clearly, like, not, consistent gym goers. And it's like, yeah, because you just put that because that's what everyone's putting right now. So, like, there's guys that you can definitely tell, like, no, they mean that shit. But, there's also guys that are just putting what they know other guys are putting, and they're like, oh, maybe this will work. And I'm like, no, it doesn't work. So, that's annoying. And then you've got the stream of guys that say, oh, I want a girl with a brain. And it's like, again, shut up. Because in my experience, that is not the case a lot of the time. And it's like, yeah, you are having a hard time holding conversation, sure. So you want someone with a brain or whatever. But, in reality, a good amount of these dudes on here, like, they don't want anything serious. And, like, they are clear about that. And then it's like, okay, so if you don't want anything serious, why would I, like, put in the effort of having great conversation with you and then, showing my intellect and all the shit. And then what? You end up with a situationship. That's what you end up with from that. So there's that. And then, and I say you end up with a situationship because I have done this before and experienced that, where it's like, oh, I want a girl that's smart and intelligent, blah, blah, blah. And then you're smart and intelligent, you guys have great conversation, you really hit it off. Oh, they don't want anything serious. But they can still have sex with you and have great conversation with you without having any kind of commitment. Absolutely not. Like, I'm not doing that. No. And then Hinge is difficult because, number one, I forgot how Hinge worked because it had been a long time. So I was like, wow, I'm really fucking ugly. No one's, like, liking me. And then I realized, like, it shows you, like, the people that have liked you. And then you go and you look and then you see if you want to, like, match with them or whatever. And I fucking forgot about that for the first, like, couple of days I was like, wow, I'm fucking ugly. So there's that. And then I realized that the guys that I find attractive do not find, I don't know if it's they don't find me attractive or it's like things like I have something like looking for something serious in my thing, and maybe like the guys I'm attracted to are just not looking for anything serious ever. And that tracks. Honestly, that does track. So I'm going to say it's that. But, I mean, it could just be that I'm ugly. Who fucking knows? But, anyways. So, yeah. Dating's not going great. And the apps are not going great. And I'm mad at myself for even downloading them because I knew it was not going to go great. And, like, I've had some good conversations with people. But at the same time, I, like, instantly regret it when, like, one of the things that someone had said to me a long time ago and has resonated with me and really been something that I have lived by after that being told to me. Sorry if I'm like stumbling over my words and stuff. I'm trying to paint and talk at the same time, which is quite difficult. But yeah, so something that someone said to me was, when it comes to like the things that are important to you, so like your intellect, or like for me, my artwork and stuff, those things are meant to be held close, and you can't just share them with anyone, and you have to protect that. And I try very hard to live by that. That's also one of the reasons that I haven't like really shared my artwork that often and stuff, because artwork is up to interpretation, and I think my artwork is really personal. Even like my, regular things that you wouldn't necessarily think are personal, like a Marvel painting or something like that. Like, that doesn't necessarily scream personal. Like a portrait or a landscape painting that showed the deep, dark depths of someone's heart. But, for me, this is, even the Marvel stuff is personal. It's private to me. I did it. I was going for a certain concept, and I was able to bring it to life. And the energy and effort that goes into that is personal. And then on top of that, when I paint, a lot of times it's because I'm disturbed with life, like extremely disturbed with what's going on in my life. So it's a feeling at that time. So whether you can understand what I was feeling from the painting or not, I know what was going on in my life at the time. So my artwork is private. And it's one of those things that, like we were just discussing, that you keep close, that you keep private, that you keep safe from other people because you don't want it tainted by the world. And, when you put your artwork out there, it loses some of its innocence and its infancy when you are putting it out there for the world. Because, when people view it and they make comments and they make, opinions and all kinds of stuff, it becomes bigger and it almost becomes alive at that point. So, I have tried really hard to keep all my work as special to me as it was when I started it and when I was painting it. And I have a lot of incomplete stuff too, but yeah. And when people are asking about you and in your life and what do you do and what do you find fun and all that stuff, you have to pick and choose, who am I going to say this to, or am I gonna express how I feel about my artwork or not with this person, because it's a personal, private thing, and depending on the reaction, you can get your feelings fucking hurt, or you could have shared a piece of yourself that you hold near and dear and so special, and then that person's like, okay, that's really cool, and you're like, okay, well, fuck you, because like for that I could have told you I'm into underwater basket weaving. But yeah, so, And recently, like, I messaged this dude and he was cool and we talked and we had good conversation and he had an understanding of philosophy and read about we're losing my phone again. Oh, we found it again. But it's because it's SZA, that's why it's so quiet. But yeah, so we're talking and it's cool and we're having a decent conversation, I feel. And we're talking and it seemed like a good, like, oh, maybe I should actually, like, say some real shit with him or to him in the conversation, because this person is holding a good conversation. He seems, to have similar interests and similar ideas, and some ideas that, I don't have or don't agree with, but we're able to keep a good flowing conversation regardless, and, like, not get, like, oh, I don't fucking agree, so fuck you kind of thing. It's not like that. It's a great, banter back and forth, and it's a great sharing of the minds. And then I was, like, talking about how someone stole my crushed glass that I have to use for this painting, which we'll talk about in a second. But I was talking about that, and then he was like, oh, you haven't, like, sent me any pictures of your work. And I was like, oh, well, my best friend for a long time actually did not know that I painted. Like, wasn't something that I brought up. And then we did, like, a paint night. And he was like, what the fuck? You can fucking paint? And I was like, yeah. He's like, you just held that in there? I'm like, yeah. You're not fucking talking about it for. And, I was like, art is personal, and a lot of times with my artwork, I end up not liking it when it's complete, or I end up, or once I'm out of an emotion, like usually, like I said, I paint when I'm disturbed, it's gone. Like, whatever I was feeling, whatever I was doing, it is 100% gone, and I can't get it back now. Because I don't feel that way anymore. Or it's a feeling that, like, I never want to feel like that again. So it's hard to get myself back in the space or conjure a new feeling that would coincide with this piece. Because that's not the emotion anymore. That's not what's driving this painting. And I was going 100 miles per hour, and now I'm going, like, 20. So it's really difficult to keep that going. And I do this thing where I call it, compartmentalizing, where I'll capture something or a feeling in a painting, and then it's gone. It's out of my head. I didn't even know that I had ever felt that way before. So I was, like, explaining this, and I was like, with my artwork, I tend not to take pictures of it or share it with people because of those things, and it's just so personal, and I'm trying to get out of that now to actually be an artist and have my artwork shown and seen and be able to generate a second flow of income off of my art. But I was like, for a long time, I just wouldn't show anyone, or I wouldn't tell anyone. And then that's why I got the 3D printer, because it's so mechanical. Like, you do have to sketch everything out, and you have to work with the Nomad Sculpt, and you do have to do similar things that you would do in a painting and stuff. But once you get down to, like, the slicer, it's very dims in weight. It's very, very, very mechanical. So it takes the level of personhood out of it, and that would probably make me more comfortable to consistently put out artwork. Same way I feel about digital art in comparison to, like, tangible art. And I was like, I tend not to share these pieces and stuff with people unless I know that they're going to stay around. My best friend is the only one that has ever really seen me work on anything or seen my artwork. And his response was, okay then. And I was like, okay, like what? Like that's all we're gonna say here? And like that's a huge window for a conversation there, because creativity and the artist process and all the shit. And not saying I wanted a specific response, but to be like, okay then, after that I'm like, okay, well now I don't really want to talk to you, because why? Like I gave you something real and you gave me nothing back. So, what's it called? So yeah, that's kind of like where that my friend was saying, don't be so ready to, give pieces of yourself away like that. Because those things are sacred and special and important. And yeah, so I decided to delete the apps because of shit like that, and just like the weeding through of like who's here to just fuck and who's here to, actually be a fucking human being. And I just really don't have time to be figuring that out. Like I don't want to. I don't want to do it. So I'm just gonna have to meet people the old-fashioned way, I guess. Yick. But yeah, and I think that those are things that like are good to talk about too, because we all have social media and we listen to the podcasts of like the people dating and doing the shits and the dating apps and stuff, and they don't talk about that part, and I think that that's really important, because it can make you feel kind of lonely when you're on these dating apps and you're like, wow, I'm not connecting with anyone. And it's like, yeah, well, the fact of the matter is, when you match with someone on Tinder, you match with someone on, well, Hinge is a little bit better because they have prompts and stuff, so you can really like be like, oh, this guy's interesting or whatever. But Tinder specifically, it's like, come on, man. You swiped on someone because you thought they were cute. Maybe they had a funny bio, maybe, but it's mostly off looks. And it's not a normal way to meet people. It's just not. This is a relatively new thing, and a lot of people do it and they talk about it, and then we see, the stories on YouTube and TikTok and stuff. So it's like, oh, I'll get on the app and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, well, if you're having difficulty, just remember that this is not like an organic or normal way to meet people. Like, go out and do something, and it's easier said than done, I'll tell you that. But I'm gonna have to, if I actually want to like expose myself to new people and maybe find someone, not necessarily find like I'm looking, but like end up in a scenario where I could possibly be interested in someone that's not in the form of Tinder, because in that type of dating, because it just never really works out for me, and I'm aware of that, and I try it anyways, knowing better, and then I end up frustrated and pissed off. So I am going to make significant effort, because I also need to like make friends in the state too. Like, don't get me wrong, like I know people here, but I don't have like friends that I hang out with here. I just didn't really make an effort when I moved back home. I didn't make a good effort in that, my best friend, my main best friend, was already here, and that was like all I needed. I was like, that's all I need. And then I would go visit my other really close friends in New Hampshire, and that was it. So I was like, oh, I've got all I need. But now it's like, all right, let's be a grown up and go make some friends, go do some shit, expose myself, have fun, kind of thing. So the number one thing that I'm excited to go to is at this little bar, like Mediterranean bar, like hookah lounge kind of deal, is Philosophy Slam, because that's the main thing. I need to find people that are into the things that I'm into, and that's part of why I like going to the comic book store so much, because I'm like, maybe one day I'll find a buddy or a friend in there. But I'm going to Philosophy Slam next week. It's something UNF does. It's like once a month, but they go over different topics, and they have a presenter, and then they have an hour discussion. The odds of me actually doing the discussion part, slim. Of me actually discussing, real slim, because your girl's got social anxiety. But I am doing that, and hopefully I'll meet some cool people, hear some cool ideas. But they have a speaker, and the first one of the year, or of this semester, is robot rights. And I really think what they mean is AI rights. But, I just think they're using the terminology synonymously. But I'm pretty sure that they mean AI rights. Which, I guess you could technically say a robot, but when you think of robot, marketing's important, people. Okay, when you think about a robot, you think of, like, WALL-E and Eva. But, AI is not necessarily like that. So, but I'm going to that. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be super cool. But, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with everything. As far as, like, a general life update, I am working full-time as a project management coordinator in power systems. I work for a cat dealer, and I work in specifically our generator division. I work in all new sales, so we don't do anything used, which is nice because I feel like you have to do a little bit more marketing work and stuff like that, trying to and a lot more like customer relations and stuff, because you're trying to like sell this old equipment. But yeah, I do that. I don't know if I've really said that. Maybe I did. I don't know. But I like that quite a bit. So work is good. Work is a nice time. I have a flexible job on top of that that's like okay with school and my school schedule. They really don't care. As long as I'm there majority of the time, they don't care. But I leave early for class, even when I have like online classes, so I have time to actually do the work. So that's nice. But okay, I'm being bad right now, and I'm like working on every piece except for his freaking arm, and I really need to work on his arm. So we're gonna, this is silver, I want silver. Goldie, where did you go? Captain Goldie, is this you? I found you. But we're working on his arm now. But yeah, I really do want to take artwork seriously this year. As you can see over here, I have my 3D printer. And my 3D printer And I have not set it up yet because I'm intimidated by it and I don't want to break it before I even get started. But I promise I will put it up probably tomorrow. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. Absolutely. I will do it tomorrow. Oh, we'll do it on live, so I actually do it. Hold myself accountable. I don't like this song. Why is this even in my library? We're only going to do an hour stream tonight, so we've got about 20 more minutes. I'm just trying to pick a song. But, yeah, we're going to do it on live. I'm just intimidated by it. I don't want to fuck it up. I don't want to break it or anything like that. I just got it. So, there's a warranty on it, but that's not the point. I don't want to break it. So... but yeah, I want to 3D print my own action figures. So I actually want to make a 3D version of this whole thing, and it'll be on a statue. I really like my Living Tribunal. Look at him. He's so cute. But, the good thing about the Living Tribunal, by the way, is that, he takes the form of, like, the eye of the beholder kind of deal. So, my interpretation of him can be whatever the hell I want. Now, the Dr. Fate one's a little different because he does have a look, he has a costume, he has an outfit. So, I'm working real hard to keep that accurate, but within my own kind of taste. So, but yeah, that's the main reason why I picked the Living Tribunal first. I didn't know it was going to be a DC versus Marvel matchup to begin with. But, it just ended up this way. I don't know what I'm doing with this hand. The good thing is that we have black paint to cover it if I don't like it, and then start over. I actually need to look at a picture of his hand and then go from there. That might help me a little bit more. I'm actually listening to Noah Cyrus's Mr. Percocet. I really enjoy it. It's a great song. Dr. Fate. Okay, well that doesn't help. Okay, well I definitely don't like his hand on this side either. Okay, I think I kind of got a good idea now. The good thing about comic hands is that they don't have to be perfect. Yeah. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna fill it in. The main thing that I have to remember with painting and sketching is like all the detail comes later. Like you're really just, if you have like a blank space and you're trying to make a figure or something, it really doesn't matter what the sketch looks like. Sorry. It doesn't matter what the sketch looks like because you're just gonna detail it out anyways later. So don't worry about it. Which is what we're working on right now. We just need to get a foundation of his arm first, lay out the gold, and then come back and detail it when it's dry, which the detailing will probably take a couple days, to be honest, because this whole thing has taken months. So, but I do need to redo the hand on this one, which puts more time until it's complete. Okay. Whatever. Okay. So like I said, we only have about 20 more minutes left. So we're going to detail his chest out some. We'll detail out his abdomen. And then that'll be a good stopping place because his arm has to dry. And then, yeah, his arm has to dry. So I can't really do much right now. Anyways, acrylic dries fast, but I like to give it a good amount of time. Just because when you put like a wet paint on top of it and it's not completely dry, it does like cause some issues with the texture. And it makes the colors bleed. I don't want to have to fix bleeding colors. So we are going to do like a pattern on his chest that's kind of like diamonds. And we're using like a deeper kind of navy for it because he's got like almost like a dusty blue going on his chest. But yeah, so I do want to start doing like little fun segments. So like this one podcast I watched, they have Peek and Pit. So we can start doing stuff like that. And then as people watch, you guys can comment your Peek and Pits of the week. We'll do them on Fridays. I think is when we'll do Peek and Pit. So that'll be cool. Okay. So now I have to make the diamond pattern. So I think what I'm going to do is go across like this. Yeah. And I'm going to go over this with multiple different colors so I really get that dimension as I'm going through. Oops, grabbed the wrong color. But yeah, if there's anything you guys want to see or different things you want to talk about, we can have like philosophy kind of podcasts too, or streams too, where we pick like a concept, like say one thing someone had asked recently, or I'd seen them ask, is time linear? So that really depends on, well, number one, there's a general consensus in philosophy that time is continuous because when we're born and when we are conscious, we don't experience the beginning of time. So we just experience the beginning of our time within time, if that makes sense. Like, we only process information in terms of past, present, and future. So, we don't ever experience the end of time. So we'll die and experience the end of our time. But as we see, time continues to move forward, whether, you're conscious or not. So that is a difficult question to answer. And then on top of that, your understanding of time is really indicative on your interpretation of reality. So it's actually a question that falls under metaphysics. So that's where we end up like questioning understanding and experience, and how does that happen, and how do you know if you understand something, and is something reality? It's a big complex question. And yeah, so like conversations like that, we can definitely have those and really go into some fun stuff. And the great thing about philosophy is I personally don't feel like you can really be wrong. You can have an invalid argument, but there's not really like a right or wrong. There's an interpretation of information, and that is personal to you and how you understand things. So you may have an incomplete thought, or you may be, you could have a cyclical argument, you could have a weak argument, or something like that. But that's all a part of the process of discourse and learning and sharing knowledge. And I think that that's one of my favorite things about philosophical discourse and being a philosophy major, because you really get to mull through ideas with others. And on top of that, you know, like I said, it's not like a true false kind of thing, or yeah. So we don't have to agree with each other, but having the discussion and hearing, you know, different interpretations and talking in the comments and stuff would be really cool. But we're also going to have Marvel conversations and DCU conversations. Like I said, I'm really just trying to get a feel for how I want to run this channel with the live streams, because I have a ton of interest and I really want to hone in on a few and have, you know, the podcast or the stream basically. So shoot me some ideas. I am open to anything. And then we are getting back to our book talk this week. We have, we're actually going to do our last stream of the week is all going to be The Witcher. So that's going to be fun. It'll be all The Witcher. And we will go over the last part of the book, because we've gotten a little under halfway through the book. I am done with the book. So I just want to cover it all in one go. And then after that, we will get back into our videos. So we'll do the videos, and then we'll do live streams. And when we do the live streams about The Witcher, we're actually going to go through and compare all of the Netflix episodes to the books and where we're at. And then we might actually get The Witcher games and stream The Witcher games. That might be fun. Because a lot of people that really love it have either found it through finding the books or found it through finding the games. So yeah, we're gonna do that, and we'll do the final video on the book on Friday. That'll be our last stream of the week, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, so that'll be our last stream of the week, and then we'll be back to our videos on the next book, and then we will do a couple live streams to get through season 1 and 2, because we know season 3 is coming out here soon. Not super soon, but it is coming out. because they're clearly already working on season 4 with Liam Hemsworth. But yeah, so I'm at a good stopping point. It has been 55 minutes, so it's about an hour. I'm at a good stopping point because I can't do too much with the wet pieces that we have going on. I did check the hand. It is still slightly wet. But yeah, so that's a good little stream. Like I said, do not worry about his hand right now because it's all going to get detailed out and changed here soon. But yeah, so we've got our Living Tribunal. We've got Dr. Fate getting his ass beat. And then we'll definitely do a studio stream of the resin process. Still have to figure out exactly what I'm doing. I got all the materials that I need. I had to spray paint some of it because, like I said, my crushed glass got stolen. To the slut that stole my crushed glass, screw you. Because when you open up a big thing of freaking crushed glass and you see that you can't do anything with it, because why would anyone buy crushed glass? You're going to be pissed, and I hope you're disappointed, and I hope it makes you sad, because you made me sad by stealing my crushed glass because it had all the colors that I needed, but it's fine. It's fine. I had some spray paint with the right colors, so we're good. We got our crushed glass. So, yeah. We're pretty much done for tonight, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. Actually, I do know what we're going to do. We're going to do a studio vlog. No. I'm so out of it. We're going to set up our 3D printer, which is technically, I guess, a studio vlog, but we're setting up the 3D printer on stream. And then we're going to have like a full schedule. I'm going to mull it over with myself tonight of what all this channel is going to look like with the live streams, and then go from there, because definitely want to do these studio vlogs where I'm painting. That's great. So that's one day. I do want to 3D print some stuff with you guys, so that'll be one day, and then we'll have our book talks, and then we'll have Marvel and DC days. So we'll see how we open up the days, but all those things that I just listed, that's about 5 days worth of stuff. So yeah, I think we have a good rough idea. But yep. All right, so I am done for the night, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching.